Sam looks like he's using his hot lap on the outlap stretch. As Jamie's out. Jamie has crashed on his outlap, and that's a disastrous start to his title fight. What has happened to the Haas driver? But now as we get 5 red lights, and this lights out, and away we go. Pink gets a good getaway, but MCL not so much. Xavier up in the P2 already, and MCL down in the P4. It's almost 3 wide as the V-Carb now has to go off track to take a point in action. Sam Newton in P2, he gets up the inside of MCL, but they're still going to battle now, down into turn 4. MCL claims that inside line's much stronger, but will the Alpine get a better exit? It's all over the back of the Mercedes as we see a lot of squabbling over at the back end of the grid. But Sam is going to be able to maintain that P3. MCL just about salvages P2 after a not so good getaway. The Red Bull now is going to be under pressure from Cajun. Oh, and that's a very sketchy move. And Cajun hits Melvin. Now, that's not a move you want to go for, especially early doors, as Vaxi and Cajun still back, and Cajun runs wide. That's going to be a warning for the V-Carb. He's under pressure now from the Haas driver. He is burning. He's going to have the inside line for next point. He does clear him, but now we're going to have DRS. Sam Newton's getting that rear wing wide open. Obviously 10 kilometers an hour extra you get, but MCL is going to claim that inside line. It's generally the stronger line for his score, and it's wheel banging, and it's the Alpine off the track. Is he going to have an illegal overtake though? It looks like he was off the track when he made the overtake, but if the game says it's grand, he's going to keep that position on the Mercedes when he's battling. Oh, and it's the Haas. Is that Jamie? And Jamie's round! And Jamie's had an instant, the same corner that he's retired in qualifying, and he's round in P14, and that is detrimental if he was to try and claim that championship tonight. So we have MCL now, gets back in the P2, but he's still side by side with the Alpine, taking the inside line. There's to be a little bit of contact now, but it's ultimately keeping it clean. MCL picks up that P2 as no one quite close to make the overtakes in this lap, but Sam is going to go side by side. Very unconventional place to go for that overtake. Will he try and cut to the inside and take the inside line for the final turn? He does. He goes for the switchback side by side. Suppose in behind. As Destroyer Jack has disconnected from the session. As Vax now going to the inside of Melvin, he reclaims that P6 spot. Takes the inside line in the turn 1. That's a very nice move from the Haas driver. Obviously still about 1.7 seconds back, but if these two keep battling the way they're battling. As Sam, there's a little bit of contact out the final corner, but he's trying to reclaim that P2, going for the outside line, the racing line in the turn 1. As MCL holds up the inside, a little bit of tire banging, but he's still there in the turn 2. These drivers have the colossal fight. MCL now on the racing line, but Sam Newton's going to have the stronger inside line, and he just has to back off. Xavier now back in the DRS, over the rear diffuser, and he has more ERS. Can he mount the challenge against the Alpine driver and potentially the Mercedes? As we're side by side, Sam Newton taking the inside line, clearing the Mercedes. Vaxi and Melvin having that scrap again in the background. Who's going to benefit most though? MCL goes for a big dive. It's lit, but it is a great move. Maybe squeeze them a little bit on exit, but that is going to be P2, and what a move from MCL, reclaiming that P2 spot. Melvin's starting to fall back a little bit as Sam Newton actually gets back up in the P2. I didn't even expect that move from the Alpine driver, but I don't think he's going to be able to make too much of it with the lack of ER. Oh, and MCL's round! He's going round the outside, and that has cost him his wing. It's not going to be a safety car, but that is unfortunate for the driver playing the team game. We'll see if that starts to go down. Vaxi now is over the back of Xavier, has a half dive, but unfortunately not close enough to make it stick. Melvin now has lost position to Nicholas. We said Nicholas would catch if he kept battling with Vaxi the way he did, and lo and behold, he has called up Jason Jamie. It's Jamie again. He's had another incident. This time it looks like it was contact with Jace. And has he got wing damage? I believe it looked like an end plate came off of the Haas car. He seems to be struggling a little bit with the understeer, and this is a nightmare in the street Singapore. He has no end plate, so that's Jamie, the championship leader, suffering massively this race. I'm surprised we haven't seen very many track limit penalties. Obviously only one driver picking one up, and that is Craggy. But Melvin's going to be under threat. He squeezes Fetch to the outside, but he's going to claim the inside line for turn 5. And what switchback as Melvin tries to get around the outside. Will he make it stick? The two drivers scrapping. And he's still alongside now, down into the left-hander, and he's all over the curb. He's not going to get the good exit. And Fetch holds his nerve around the outside. Going for the final corner. Will we see a move into turn 1? Obviously very difficult. You have to be fully alongside. Xavier is going to take the outside line. Will Nicholas have a little look though? Has a half look, but he's just not close enough to even think about that move currently. Xavier picks up a 3 second. And that is P3. Obviously now down in the net P5. And that's disastrous. Is that Rin? Is that maybe why his drive's going? It is Rin. There's raindrops around Street Singapore. Obviously already a very difficult track to drive. It's going to be even more difficult now with the wet. Pink's going to come into the box. He opts to come in early. Is he going to go for that pit onto Inters? He's going to have to make that call. Sam Newton is also going to follow him in. Xavier also, so it must be the crossover. Vaxi getting pushed into the pits by Nicholas almost. Nicholas ghosting a little bit, and it is crossover. Melvin's now going to come in. Cajun following. Vaxi still all over the rear of Xavier. He gets that bear X. He's going to claim the outside line. And that is a lovely, lovely move from the Haas driver. Simex and Jace are battling. They're swapping positions in the pits. And that Jace is out. And that's a full course safety car just after everyone's box. And that's going to bring down the entire gap that Pink has built up. When will he decide to go though? As we now come up the final corner, and he's pulled the trigger very early on. Sam able to keep with him though. Will he be able to go for that move? He's burning. Is he going to pick the inside line for turn 1? Has a half look, but he's not quite close enough on this occasion. I've seen Melvin behind having a little half look on Fetch. Xavier's round, and that is Xavier. I don't know if he's had contact or what's happened, but he's now down into P15. Spinning in the bridge section, and that is really unfortunate for the V-Carb driver. As Pink and Sam Newton are battling, a little bit of tire banging. As Pink's burning everything he can, he's going to hold the wrist line, but Sam's going to take the inside line. He says thank you very much, up in the P1 before the braking zone. Now, and every bit of time is occasionally going for a big move again. We seem to go for a move earlier in the race, almost clipping the front wing of Craggy, as Craggy's being rear-ended by the Williams Nicholas, who's just fallen down the order as Cajun One Eye and Nicholas are going to be battling. Nicholas trying to stick it around the outside, but he's just not close enough. And his rear end from the Alpina failing. I've seen a free car battle. I can't tell what's happening because of Vaxi. The ghost is cluttering everything. But we have the V-carb of Cajun with Nicholas on the outside, maintaining position. Vaxi's Jamie is going to go around the outside now of Phelan. Is he able to make that move stick? It's a very, very brave move to go for. Down the inside now, as a little bit of a slide from Phelan, and there's contact. Jamie forcing Phelan towards the barriers. And it was very aggressive defending there in the background from Simon X on MCL, and that's a very, very dangerous move to attempt. And there's contact, they both lose out, but no one is off the brick wall of the other V-carb. Melvin up in the P5, he's lost out there to Craggy. Craggy around the outside, what a move from the Red Bull, but can he make a stick? Fetch's going to get a better exit, imagine, but he's, what a move into this penultimate corner. Fetch in P4 starts to pull away as that battle is behind. Nicholas going to take the inside line, but he is lagging, it would appear on stream, and Jamie's in the pits. And has he got wing damage? We'll stay on board with the Haas just to see if he's got that wing damage. But that is mental. He's just opted for a strategy call. He doesn't have wing damage. Oh, he's gone slick. It's stopped raining. And that could be huge. And that could be maybe a gamble that's going to pay off massively. Nicholas is finally getting that move on Fetch. He's looking to go around the outside. He's going to have to be late on the brake. Fetch is even later, still holding, forcing him as far wide as he can go. But Nicholas gets the better exit and he claims that P4 position. But Fetch obviously, he's going to be comfortable to sit behind as he doesn't have a 3 second. So he's going to be wondering whether or not he can just sit behind and claim that position at the end of the race. Actually, he has no interest in sitting behind. Nicholas into the pits now, as we see that Jamie is just not really gaining very much. We've seen as Phelan rear ends the Williams, the Mercedes, and he's still going to battle him. He's got a 3 second move for that instant. cleanly turns into the result. And that's... Xavier has had a moment. Yellow flags now on the main straight. Actually, we have gone slick. We have gone slick. DRS is enabled. Will Sam box or will he try and stick it out with the intermediate tyres? As Sam Newton is going to come into the box. What's Pink going to do? This could be huge. Obviously, only 3 laps remaining. And a pit stop worth about 20 seconds. Pink's going to stay out. He's going to try and go to the end. Has Sam Newton made a costly decision though and potentially bottled the race win? They're just not going to have any tread left on those inters. They're already going to be bad enough on tyre wear, never mind on a dry track. MCL going around the outside of the V-carb. That's very ballsy to try and stick. As contact, a little bit of side pod contact is failing to try and pick up the scraps. As the other Alpine, Sam Newton on the softs, he's cutting through this pack on the outside. As contact again with MCL, he's trying to go side to side to maintain that position, but the softs are just too powerful compared to the inters. As MCL obviously had a moment with Phelan's teammate. We've got yellows, and it's a V-carb, that's Cajun's round. As a massive moment, not quite sure how he spun on the straight, but this inters just proven that they're so far gone. And Melvin's round. That is huge for the championship. Melvin has managed to spin the car in sector 2. Has he got damage? He's obviously kept going in P7. It's still going to be good for his championship, but potential end plate damage could be detrimental. The car's obviously fallen behind. Sam Newton officially up into the podium positions, but he's got 10.6 seconds to try and gain in 1 lap. Surely it's not possible for the Alpine driver. As MCL now getting past Cajun after Cajun's had that spin up in the P8. Melvin has his rear or front wing intact. Pink loses the lead, but obviously it doesn't have that 3 seconds. Sam Newton 9 seconds now, the deficit, and he's gaining rapidly. We could potentially see him catch them, as Pink now struggling severely. He's at the bridge section, but he could potentially lose out to Craggy. 1.6 seconds the gap. He needs to try and keep within 3 seconds. 4.3 behind though, and this could be a cinematic finish, as it looks like Phelan has spun as well now. Everyone going round, no one can put any throttle down on the tyres. Sam Newton 3 seconds behind. He can see Pink ahead. That is his race win if he can somehow catch him. 2 seconds though as we come round the penultimate corner, as Craggy's going to take the checker flag. It's 2.3 seconds his lead as he takes the checker flag, but with that 3 second penalty, it's Pink that wins the Singapore Grand Prix. He just about holds on. Sam Newton takes the fastest lap and caps off a podium for his stellar drive. Taking a gamble at the end, it's not quite working out. Simon X bringing home a solid P5 for the Aston Martin outfit. Melvin taking P6. He's going to be, Phelan has spun again, that's twice. As MCL spun as well. That's P10 and 11 for the respective drivers. Cajun claims that P7. Basically to get P7 after the post-race penalties though. He's good and Phelan P11. Jamie up in the P10. So there's 4 positions between Melvin, and we do go to Bahrain for the Drivers' Championship. But it looks like the Constructors, I believe, has in fact been sealed.